Hello, hello, everyone. Book club number 19. It is today. In case you're wondering, it is still a radical awakening. We're still talking about the same book. And I don't go through the book linearly because then you won't buy the damn book. So I'm not so silly to go through the book and give you the whole book. No, I do other stuff that inspire you to go buy the book. You're getting additional stuff in this book club. Do you know that? That leads to the book. Sometimes I read from the book, but I'm not going through the book chapter by chapter. I wrote the book so you could read the book. This is just other stuff, extra stuff. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Come on for book club number 19 for Radical Awakening. If you've read the book, if you love the book, if you're inspired, do leave us an Amazon review so that we can play into the matrix and follow the accolades where they need to be. And if you don't give accolades on Amazon, you didn't even read the book. So go leave a review on Amazon. That's what we need. We're talking about a radical awakening, book club number 19. So, if you haven't figured out by now, our childhoods really F with us. Is that message clear in all my work? In my 3 or 4 parenting books and this damn book? How many times have I said, but the reason I keep saying it is because I myself am so surprised by how deeply our childhoods F us up. Like, no, really. And so many of us are going through life oblivious to how effed up we are by our effed up childhoods. That is the danger. So then it's the job of people like me, psychologists, who are here to tell you how effed up your childhood was. You're very, very, very welcome. No, all jokes aside, yeah? I mean, it's really a comedy of tragedies, a tragedy of comedies. But it's just the fact, the way of it. The way of it. We were raised by unconscious parents. Yes, Kekel 3852 says, it's something I've been untangling only for 6 decades. Yes, you have my book in your hands right now and you're reading it, Spiritual Gangster. All right, I love it. Okay, so here, let's get serious. So, our childhood, know what to do, sets us up to be screwed up. That's it. So, some of us get screwed up in a really unique way. And I gave us a postcard swipe today. If you go on my feed, on my Instagram feed, there's a postcard dedication to a really special way some special people get screwed up, aka the empaths. Okay, so in my book I talk about the empaths a lot. How we women are trained to be empaths, and then how we're screwed up because we're empathic. So in my swipes, please go to my Instagram, and I have a whole dedication to the unique empath. Okay, so I then wrote that empathy has a darker side. And I'm not the only one who said it. There's somebody who wrote a book called The Darker Side of Empathy, but I've forgotten who. So in my own life, I saw, you're reading the book for the second time, Divinity Spirit Shop. I love it. So yes, B. Paula Mary Wagley, you have to get this book. Yes, hello. Okay, so you're a male empath. There you go. So the empath is very unique, okay? Because empaths are at their core kind of nice, kind of the nice of the nice, okay? But they're a little bit messed up for themselves. They're nice to others, not so nice to themselves. Now, empaths are typically, by temperament, lovely, sweet, sensitive types, okay? Not everyone is born an empath, okay? Now, if they were born an empath, meaning born sensitive, intuitive, and delicate in their emotions, in their emotionality, like fragile. Now, if you take that temperament and the parents mold this person into being a people pleaser, into being afraid, into dumping their own emotions on this fragile person and making them their confidant. Like when I was young, I was my parents' mediator because I was very intuitive and very sensitive. Everywhere I went, I promise you not, I fool you not, I promise you. From third grade on, I was like the class mediator. That's why I'm a therapist today. Like, hello. Always called in for conflict mediation between my parents, between my father and my brother, my mother and my brother, and all my friends. I was the mediator. So I got trained really early, given a lot of validation for being empathic. So here's the sad thing about empaths. Because they're so lovely, they are given a lot of validation. So the more validation you give the empath, the more empathic they are. Now, along this hurtling stone down the slope, the empath somewhere along the hurtling slope loses who the hell they are. They're so busy being empathic that they are like, they don't even know who they are anymore. So this happened to me. I don't know if it ever happened to you. I became so busy being everyone's savior. Me. I was so excited because I got so much validation that a long time ago, I forgot who I was. So this, my dear empaths, is the dark side of the empath. And then you become a mom. Okay? Now part of mommyhood is to bloody give. How can you not give that kid who's screaming? Can you say, I'm not going to give you milk? Not going to give you my breast? No. Infant cries, breast. You're giving. That is the nature of motherhood. So for the empath, yep, you get totally obliterated underground. Forget it. In the coffin. In the funeral pyre, burnt, eviscerated, forgotten. So, empaths have a real problem. Now what to do? Now part of it is they're nice people. Then they are given so many trophies for helping others. So now their identity is to be themselves and then some. Then they become wives, gay or straight. Then they become mothers. That's it. By 35, empath is burnt out, ready to kill. Now, when the empath gives, something happens after 35 to 45 years. The empath, there you go. I'm 44 and I'm starting to understand. There, see, I'm telling you, it is called a midlife crisis for a reason. After giving, around the age of when your children don't need you anymore, and you have sacrificed your body, your time, your energy, and now these bloody children don't even need you anymore, something happens. And it could be called, yes, we're fed up. It could be called a burnout. It could be called a crisis. I call it an epileptic seizure, okay? You are going to flippin' lose your mind, okay? So, beware. I would seriously tell your partner around the age of 45, something could happen to me, and I suggest you go away on a long vacation when this happens. I'm 42 and you're completely right. See? 50. I had this midlife crisis at 27. It's okay. Another one is coming. That was only the first warning bell. The one that comes after your children discard you, the one that comes when your children start treating you like garbage. You know, your children, I don't know about you, but my daughter, till the age of like 12 or 14, idolized me. She used to say lovely things like only Ima. Okay, Ima in Israel. Okay, Israeli, Hebrew. Only Ima, only mommy. And I used to be like, oh, she only wants her mommy. Wow. So I was getting something out of the giving. You understand? I was getting validation. I was getting sacrosanct pedestalization. I was getting deification. I was like, you're right, treat me like a god. Okay, I was getting all that. So I was loving it. But then something happens, and I'm speaking only tongue in cheek, okay? So then something happens when they're, no, I'm not Israeli. My ex-husband was Israeli, is Israeli, was Israeli, is Israeli. So a little bit of Hebrew, okay? So then when they become 14, 15, 16, they become like everyone else, treating you like you're just a driver and a bank account and a cook, and that's it. So now the empath is like, okay, I gave, and you also are taking advantage of me? Oh my goodness. That's it. I'm telling you, it's a thing, okay? The empath loses her mind, okay? It's a special kind of losing the mind. So the empath gives to the point of no return. Cheryl says, now I wonder if my drinking escalated around the same time. Oh my God. I'm just having fun with this topic. Yes, I'm making fun of us empaths and fun of us mothers and fun of myself. So then the empath is giving, and the empath is getting all these accolades for giving. The empath actually is getting tired of giving, but loves the trophies, loves the medals. Oh, I'm so lovely. Then along the way, she or he gets taken advantage of many times. And something is telling her inside that maybe I need to create boundaries. But the trophies are so lovely. So we forget the boundaries and we keep giving. And then when our children start treating us like garbage and they discard us in teenagehood, midlife attacks. And you're like, what the hell? See, I'm 52 and that's what happened to me. I'm telling you. My 15-year-old treats me like a driver and a bank account. Yes, and a chef sometimes. Then they discard the chef. Then you're not even good for food because now they have Uber Eats. Today my daughter asked me what's to eat as if she doesn't know. So I go through the list. Salmon, chicken, shrimp, beef, sea bass, potatoes, zucchini, whatever you want. Right? And this is what she says to me. What? The same things every day? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't say Chipotle, McDonald's, Wendy's. That's what I should have said. The whole establishment, right? So now Uber Eats. So now you're discarded even in your giving, okay? This is a big turning point when the giving is not even working anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Really what happens is that you get so taken advantage of that you reach freaking burnout, okay? And then you go the other way. People think you've gone kind of loco psycho, but it's not true. You've just said no more. But the way we do it is a little bit shocking. Okay, we don't give people warnings. So I'm giving you a warning to give other people warning, okay? It's going to happen, or if it has happened, now you know what's happened. Is you get so tired, you were replaced by DoorDash. It's true. Even for food, they don't need us anymore. Solution? Okay, here's the solution. Yes, the solution is no more. The solution is we need to understand how we have created our misery. Okay, sorry. Before we create the boundary, we need to understand what sickness led us to give to the point of no return. No, now really, now I'm talking serious stuff, okay? It's in my book, but this is the serious stuff, okay? Now really. Before you ask what to do, like create the boundary, say no more, walk away, create physical distance, create emotional safety. No, before that, the depth of your insight has to come from your understanding of why you needed the validation so much. Why you gave up yourself so much. The why has to be understood before you do the doing. This is my work. My work is epiphanic. It's like, understand the why. I don't care about the doing. Oh, so you'll put the Band-Aid and again you'll do it. Until you understand why you were so hungry that you refused to honor yourself. If you were here, you ignored this and you bent and broke. If you don't understand how far you left yourself and why that validation was so important to you, you will repeat the pattern, even if you know what to do so you can avoid it. If it doesn't come from deep within, you will do it again. So in my case, I don't know about you, but I'll throw myself out there and I'll say that the reason I did it, 100%, the reason I did it is because I was more married to the idea of the good girl than the idea of the authentic girl. I didn't know what authenticity was really. I was like, F authenticity, I want to be the good girl. So to be the good girl, by golly, I would do anything. Anything. Wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to make coffee? Okay. Drive you to the end of town because you forgot your lipstick? Okay. No problem. Oh, this is not warm enough. You want me to warm it up? Okay, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll warm it up. No problem. Right? So out of empathy, out of niceness, but some kind of crazy niceness, for me to understand the dark side of my empathy was very important. And therefore, here's the real cincher. Are you empaths ready for this? Here's how you can change, but it's going to punch you. Are you ready? The real hardcore neuroses of the empath is, are you ready? Our own delusion of grandiosity. Okay? Our own desire to be seen as great, as so amazing, as the good one, as the pleaser, as the conflict solution provider. That is the illness that leads the empath to kill themselves beyond recognition. It's not just because they're nice. They were nice in their temperament a long time ago, but they became sick where they avoided conflict, where they people pleased to the point of their own demise, where they had zero boundaries that they were taken advantage of left, right, and center, because the idea to be a bitch, or the idea to be called a bitch, or the idea to be called the bad one was such an abomination that they were like, no, I'll do anything to be called the good one. I'll do anything to get to stay married in my head to that idea of the good one. And it's this that is the illness. So, the only way to really change is to divorce that marriage, divorce that relationship that you have to be the amazing savior, the one who does it all, the one who doesn't say no, the one who's so lovely. You know, you imagine that they're talking about you at parties. Oh, she's so lovely. But here's the other kicker. The minute the empath says no, even little bit, okay, even little bit, they are labeled the bitch. So the empath is in trouble. The empath is like, I'm trying to create boundaries, but I create even a little boundary and everyone is upset. You know why? Because we have made everyone an addict to our empathic side. Now everyone is like, hello. You're saying no, you're a human being, you have needs. What is this? You didn't wake up at night to make me hot coffee when I wanted it? Oh, you're so selfish, right? Now you are considered selfish for creating little boundaries. So that's why I say, if you don't understand your neuroses, when you start creating boundaries and people push back, you're going to totally collapse. You're going to, I can't do it. Because you have to understand that they are going to call you the bitch. And if you are not comfortable being called the bitch, you're going to keep saying, please love me. I'm a good person. Here, I'll make you coffee at 2 o'clock in the morning. So unless we get comfortable being the bad one, our empathy will take us down the gutter. Okay? Down the gutter to burnout, to crisis, to overeating, overdrugging, basically all sorts of body illness, body breakdown, because we're taking everybody's bullshit on our shoulders and not speaking the truth. So, because we left boundaries a long time ago, Everyone around us knows us as our idealized bullshit image of that amazing human being, right? Which no one can be. No one can be that. But we are trying to be that. So we're crazy, but we're trying. So everyone is used to us trying. The minute you stop trying, like even a little bit, okay? Like when I'm ill in bed, only then am I allowed to be not a slave by my daughter. My daughter will come, why are you in bed, Mom? Why are you in bed? I have 102 fever. Oh, okay. Then she'll touch me to make sure that I'm really not faking it. I'm kidding. But something like that. Like, what is wrong with you? Why are you in bed? Hello? How come you're not at my beck and call? Like, why aren't you making me something to eat? Why aren't you licking the ground so I can walk on it? I remember my daughter's look of horror the first time she saw me in bed. I was like, I'm just in the daytime. I said, Ma, it's called relaxing. She was like, where's my mom? Who is this relaxing person who thinks they can relax? So, we have created the insane situation. Now how to break out. Now we're in a dilemma. People are calling us bitches. People are calling us bad. My daughter was like, you're a bad mom once she said it. I was like, I'm a bad mom? Oh my God, okay, let's not have any boundaries. Let's go back to being amazing. So when they are pulling at us and dumping labels that we can't tolerate, we are in a real conundrum. Like, I want to be seen as nice, but they're not seeing me as nice. Now what to do? So the only way to do this, I'm telling you, is to burn that idea to be nice. That is our problem. We girls have been seared with this need. Okay, it's been baked into our bodies, into our skin. It's the fish is in water and doesn't realize it's wet. That's how seared in our consciousness is this desire to be seen as the good one. Until we burn that idea, until we say F off, F it. I'm sorry to use this kind of language, but until we go on a rampage against this idea in our own beings, we will keep tripping and not being able to really make boundaries. Only when you get comfortable, and it's so hard, comfortable being the bad one, only then will you break your patterns. Until then, you'll be a slave to the validation and to the approval and the praise. So, my dear empaths, you have to recognize the dark side of your empathy, that it is coming from a deep need within you to be seen as the good one, as the Mother Teresa, as the Savior. And as long as you like that image, as long as you love people talking about you like that, you're going to be effed, okay? You aren't going to change. It took me so long to get used to it. I needed everybody to like me. If somebody was upset with me on email, okay, some bloody stranger, I was like writing long emails. Let me explain myself. When I said that, I didn't mean this. And I had to literally tie myself to not explain myself anymore. Because I wanted to be seen as glorious all the time. So when you burn that idea of Mother Teresa, okay? When you burn it, shred it, throw it in the gutter, only then you will be able to become healthy. Now you can talk from reality. You can still say yes, still be loving, but you won't be a slave to the other person's validation. You'll say yes because you want to say yes. You're not saying yes because, do you see me? Do you love me? Do you see I'm a Mother Teresa? No. You'll be like, I'm doing it because I really want to do it. It gives me great joy. And yes, you can say thank you, but you won't be a slave for the thank you. And you'll be able to say no. Not right now. Maybe later. Let me think about it. You'll begin to create some sacred, loving space for yourself to be honored. You'll begin checking in. What do I want? What is good for me? Can I do it right now? You learn to say no with love. You know, the first few times an empath says no, it's like a shrieking yell, okay? When I first began saying no, I hated having to say no so much. I couldn't just say no. I was like, no, why are you making me say no? And my daughter used to say, just say no, Mom. She'd always say, 2 letters, 1 word, Mom. It's just 2 letters, 1 word. Just say no. I'm like, I don't know how to say no. So I'm going to scream. I'm going to be so angry at you. Why are you making me say no? I took so long to say no. Oh, there's such a thing? No? Just say no. 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 Not right now. I couldn't even say no. So I had to start by saying, let me think about it. I have a bad stomach. I have to go to the bathroom. Let me think about it. I was like, I cannot say no. So when we practice letting go of the idea to be everyone's savior, when we want everyone to love us, to give us validation, and we figure that we will get the validation through this role of Uber Mother Teresa, when we let that go, then we begin the real work. Then we go within ourselves and ask, what is authentic for me right now? What feels true and real for me right now? So we can still give, we can still be loving, we can still be generous. But now we have the important ingredient, the missing piece, and it is called discernment. Discerning, attuning, checking in with ourselves before we say yes. Discernment. I had no discernment. The yes was pasted across my face. There was no checking in, attuning. It was yes, and then later going, oh, can I do it? Should I do it? And then you get resentful. Then you get angry. And then you want to freaking scream. You know, all us new mothers especially, if you were a new mother at one point, do you remember losing your shit after 9 o'clock at night? So lovely till 9 o'clock. But after 9 o'clock, you know, as a way of speaking, like after a certain point on the clock, you lose your shit. You know why? Because all day we've been saying yes and giving our power away without discernment. Now what to do? Part of it is motherhood. It's going to happen. But it's exhausting. And then you're resentful. And then you want to chop their head off and leave them to cry in their diapers. You're like, bye. Right? You fantasize. You know, fantasize never coming back from CVS. Just CVS should lock us inside. And oops, sorry, I'm going to read magazines and take prescription pills. Right? What a lovely idea as a new mother. You're like, please lock me in CVS. I'll be happy in CVS. I won't complain that they don't have nice sofas in CVS. Just let me go to CVS. Right? Because we're giving and we're giving and we're giving and we're giving. So part of it is part of motherhood. But if you're an empath and a mother, so all day long, we are, yes, James Walker, there are lots of dads who are single parents. This helps us too. Yes. Sorry, dads. I forget about you. You are included. A smaller percentage, but you're included. Really you are. So when you give without discernment, okay? I had to learn how to spell the word. discernment. I was like, discernment? What is discernment? So discernment is my favorite word more than boundaries. Because it is to have wisdom. Okay? So the Buddha, when I went for meditation, talks about wisdom and compassion. Somehow I missed the wisdom piece. Okay? I only heard compassion. It took me many years. So in my entire 20s, I only heard compassion. Be compassionate, be compassionate. Which for the empath in me was like, okay. But what I missed was the wisdom piece. I was like, huh? In my 30s, I began to hear, what? He said to have wisdom? And wisdom means discernment. Choosing where. Choosing when. Choosing how. And how do you choose? By checking in. By looking within. right? So I missed that whole piece. So empaths miss discernment. So empathy is lovely, but only when it has the other wing of the dove, which is wisdom, boundaries, discernment, authenticity. If these wings are not there and you only have empathy, the bird is going down. So just because you're empathic, don't be patting yourself on the back. Quite likely you have no boundaries, and quite likely you're a slave to the idea of being the good one. And that idea of being the good one is what I talk about in my book, all through the book, A Radical Awakening. You know I'm talking about it. Go buy the book if you haven't read it. This is book club number 19. I talk about this all through the book and explain to you how you got there, what it's about, and how to break free. Go get the book. Who here has not yet gotten the book that is going to get the book right now? Who? Grab the book, A Radical Awakening. I break it down. Thank you. Wonderful. I break it down. I give you the tools to have awareness and walk on the path out. Yay, me. A Radical Awakening. And leave a review if you're inspired. Share it with your girlfriends. We all need these lessons. I know I needed them in my 20s and I didn't have it. So here you are, A Radical Awakening, book club number 19. Go buy it. Bye guys. See you soon.